More and more people in Connecticut are retiring without traditional pensions and depending on Social Security for the bulk of their income. And Social Security was never intended to be the only retirement benefit that people had. It was considered to be one part of a stool: life savings, pensions, and Social Security. But increasingly, with the volatility of the pension market and fewer and fewer employers offering traditional pensions, and the volatile performance of personal investments in 401ks, and the fact that people in this difficult economy have found it difficult to save, more and more people are relying on Social Security, so that they are retiring with a smaller percentage of their pre-retirement income to live on than had been historically true before. And this legislation, which will be getting underway with the work of the newly constituted board with the first meeting today, will provide a path for people to have a payroll deduction savings plan, which studies have shown is really the only way that people will consistently save in a disciplined way throughout their careers. And that's why it's important for us that when we advocated for this bill, for the original study that was set up to look if it were feasible, and then the passage of the bill in 2016. So we want to celebrate today the work of the commission going forward.
And we'll start getting the pieces of the puzzle in order to offer folks in the state of Connecticut the opportunity to save for retirement in a way that we haven't before. For me, it's a personal story why I thought this was so important, and it was my mother. She was an accountant, she was a financial planner, and she was to a fault. She started to fall ill in early 2000s before I was even up here, and she sat me down with a spreadsheet. And the spreadsheet laid out all of her accumulated savings. It accumulated a 401k she had, a survivor pension from my father possibly, and had the math worked out until what year she could live before she would have to then rely on her children. And I've never seen that look in her face, but it was a look of, I don't want to ask you this, but I want you to be aware by age 78, I think it was, is I'm going to have to either live with you or find a way for you to offset my ability to live. And that's not how the hardworking folks of the state of Connecticut deserve to retire. They deserve to retire with dignity. Again, Social Security being one leg of that three-legged stool, personal savings, and Social Security and a pension. Young people don't think about it. I'm also a high school football coach. The last thing they're thinking about is retirement. They come back, they start their jobs, and usually it's entry-level jobs. But if they start with a small dollar amount, $5, $10, going into an account that's totally portable, with every job they go to, it continues to accumulate that interest, and it just comes out of their check. That's the way to go.
All of the work that has led to this day, beginning with those early working groups with Marty Looney and Joe Arasimowicz, and CCAG and AARP and ASPE working together to launch us into this very important phase. It has been said, 600,000 people in the state of Connecticut without access to a workplace retirement vehicle, saving vehicle. Disproportionately, women and people of color. The state saw the need. The state understood its obligation and that we had a moral duty to try to step into this space and offer an alternative for those folks who don't have one. So I am proud to have led, along with Treasurer Napier, the planning process. We had a dynamite board that worked very hard and made our decisions by consensus. One of the things that I'm most proud of to getting it to this point.
Where Connecticut is on the road to implementing and joining the states like Oregon and California and Maryland and getting this done for our citizens. That will bring retirement savings access to people, 600,000 people in the state of Connecticut who don't have the ability to save for retirement at work.